Hello and welcome this week to our new set of lessons that we are doing in dance. So last term we looked at art and dance and how that works, and this term we are going to be looking at animals. So we're going to be looking at lots of different animals over the course of the half term. But today I thought we'd start with a very cool animal, and we're going to be looking at sharks today. So we're going to be looking at lots of different kinds and how they move and how we can make up movement about them, because they're really beautiful, really amazing, majestic animals. So let's have a go. First of all, we're going to warm up. So come into the space to get our heads and bodies ready for dance. Here we go. So what we're going to do is start with our first warm up, which is called the flock. And we normally walk around the room. So you can do that if you like, or you can stand still in one space. So when I call out number one, you're going to stand in parallel. So your feet are slightly far apart, sort of hip width apart. And we're warming up our back and our neck and our shoulders and the backs of our legs. And we're going to do a roll down through the spine. So we're going to lead with our head, very heavy part of our body. And we're going to go for 8 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to bend your knees at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, all the way up at the top. So that's number one. Number two is our arms are going to reach up really high, and we're going to swing them around. And we're going to go down, and we're going to go round and up and round and down and round and up and round. Bend the knees at the bottom, and that pushes you back up to the top. Okay, good. So that's number two. Number three is stretching to the side. So we're going to reach up really high. 1, reach to the other side. 2, reach to the side. 3, 4, bit lower. 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we're hitting all our levels, high, middle, and low levels. Good. That was number 3. Number 4 is we're going to twitch for 8 counts. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so if you can get really twisty, really bendy, so we really warm up all the parts of our bodies. Okay, so number 1, the roll down. Number 2, the swings. Number 3, the reaches. And number 4, fidgeting or twitching for 8 counts. Okay, here we go. So you can walk around the room. Okay, or you can stand still. So we're going to start with number 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Walking around or standing still. We're going to go into number 3. We're going to reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Good. Straight into number 2. We go round and down and round and up and round and down and round and up. Good. And number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bend the knees, rolling up. 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Have a walk around. Face a different direction. We're going to number 2. And round and down and round and up and round and down and round and up. Good. Well done. Shake the arms. Shake the legs. Hopefully you're a little bit warmer now. So this time we're going to do countdowns, and we're going to start by flicking our arms in the air. So we're going to stand in parallel again, nice and straight, shoulders down. Okay, we're going to flick our arms in the air for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to flick them out front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Flick. Flick something off your hands, down to the floor. 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to flick them to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Then what we're going to do is halve it. So half of 8 is 4. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flick. And then we're going to go 2s. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then we're going to go 1s. 1, 1, 1, 1 twice, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so we go 8, 4, 2, 1s, okay? I'm going to put some music on for this one to get us moving. Okay, here we go. So, big stretch up. Here we go, and ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4s. Scrunch them up to your ears and drop them. Scrunch them up to your ears and drop them. Can you do opposites? Good. And a bit faster. Well done. Shake out your arms. Okay. Well done. That's quite a fast one, isn't it? Hopefully that's got your heart going and your body is getting warmer. So the last one we're going to do is we're looking at our speeds. So we're going 1, 2, 5. Okay, so 1 is our very tricky but very beautiful slow motion. So we're going as slow as you can. You've got to think about your whole body. What's your finger doing? What's your ear doing? What's your toe doing? What's your back doing? Every single thing you've got to think of. So that's number 1. Number 2 is a little bit faster, but still pretty slow. We're moving around the space. You can do whatever movement you like. So this is called improvisation. You're just making it up on the spot. Number 3 is kind of normal speed. Okay, so faster than 2, but normal speed. And number 4, we're starting to really build up some speed now. Good. Be careful in your space, don't hit anything. We haven't got much space here. And number 5 is as fast as you can go. You're all over the place, change directions. Okay, mixing it up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 very slow, right up to 5 very fast. So we're going to start off with a nice leisurely 3. Here we go. So we're moving around, think about your levels, going high, low. We're going to build up to a number 4. What can you do? How fast can you go? But not your fastest. I'm going to drop right down to number 1. Good. Here you can catch your breath. Have a breather. It's very hard going from something very fast to very slow. How slow can you go? Good. And this is a huge jump. We're going to go from 1 right up to number 5. Ready, go. Fast as you can. Good. And down to number 2. Well done. 3. 4. And number 5. Good. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. You're going so slowly. You're going to stop. Good, well done. I bet that looks fantastic. So I'm going to call out some words that remind me of sharks. And I've been doing a bit of research. And in a minute I'm going to show you some pictures that I found of sharks. They're so beautiful, the way they move. So these words really jumped out when I started looking at their pictures and a few videos and things. So, when I catch my breath, the first word I want you to think about is glide. How can we glide in dance? Kind of a non-stop action, isn't it? Kind of quite slow, I always think. Very controlled, very graceful. How could you glide around the space? Could you do a turn? So gliding, okay. Could you do a turn? Because sharks are they turn quite a lot, don't they, quite quickly. So you could do a fast turn, or you could do a slow turn. Okay, you could do a low turn. So you could actually almost turn into a roll, couldn't you? Sort of roll turn on the floor, good. My next word is bendy. Okay, sharks are very bendy. Okay, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, why they are so bendy. Okay, so how can a shark be so bendy? How could you be so bendy? Quite flexible, aren't they? Good, so bendy. Sharks are silent, going through the water. Can you jump, but in silence? I'm going to try. Ready? As quiet as you can. If you bend your knees, that'll take away the sound from when you land. As quiet as you can. Don't forget to breathe if you're holding your breath. Can you move as quietly as you can? I'll stop talking. Good. Swerve. I love this word. So swerve is kind of, it's like you're avoiding something. So something's in the way, you've got to get out of the way of it. So you're kind of swerving out of the way. And I think sharks do that a lot. They never actually go backwards, sharks, but they kind of move out of the way of things, don't they? Good, and wrap. Okay, can you wrap yourself around yourself? Okay, so wrap, very wrappy, bendy. Their tails often sort of wrap around them like this. Good. So I want to show you some pictures to show you what I'm talking about. So I found these great pictures and I wanted to share them with you because I think it gives you more of an idea of what we are going to be looking at. So there are so many different kinds of sharks, and sharks live in every ocean in the world. Some live in warm waters, and some live in rivers, and some even live in lakes as well. They've been around for millions and millions of years, so they were sort of dinosaurs all those millions of years ago as well. Some live in reefs and in shallow water. You can actually see in this picture here, I think these are black reef tip sharks, and this is actually quite shallow water. And then some live in the deeper waters in the ocean. So basically you can find them anywhere. And sharks have cartilage in their bodies. And cartilage is, if you touch your ear, can you feel it's very bendy? And if you bend it and let go, it'll pop back to its original shape. And that's what sharks' bodies are made of, very, very tough cartilage. So that's why they can be so bendy and move so easily through the space. So they're really tough, but very flexible at the same time, which is pretty cool. There are over 500 species of shark. You can get small ones. The smallest is about the size of your hand. So actually this is quite a small one here. And the biggest goes up to 50 feet long, which is the whale shark, which I'm going to show you in a minute. They have very streamlined bodies. This is a good picture of that. So you can see it's like a perfect curve here, and they're fin as well. It's like perfect shapes for swimming through the water. So this is the whale shark. This is incredible. This is actually harmless to humans. They wouldn't go after humans at all. But you can see here how they feed. They have this huge mouth that they open, and they have a filter. So it's a bit like a sieve when you're straining your pasta. The water goes through their very, very thin bones and filter in their mouth, and it catches the teeny, teeny, tiny fish. And they have to eat tons and tons and tons of this tiny fish and krill every day just to survive. So they don't really eat big things. They eat lots and lots of millions of tiny little animals and fish a day. So sharks have crazy teeth. They have rows and rows of teeth. Can you see there? So they don't just have one set or two sets like us. When our baby teeth fall out, then our next big ones grow and that's it. They have constantly changing teeth. So if one breaks or snaps off or they lose it, another one grows through straight away. They have about 5 sets and they're constantly replaced. So you can see here how kind of small and sharp and pointy they are, and they're curved inwards. So it's very difficult if fish go into their mouth to then come out again because they're caught on their teeth. This is another cool basking shark who hasn't got teeth. This is another filter feeder. So this shark is huge, the basking shark, and actually it's very harmless. It would never go after humans, but you can see it's very, very long, and again, a filter feeder. So it just swims around with its mouth open, trying to catch as much food as it can all day. This is a very cool shark. This is called a hammerhead shark. And these grow up to about 20 feet long, and they have these huge heads shaped like a hammer. Whoops. And here, their eyes are actually on the side of their heads here. And this is so they can swim along and catch stingrays, which is sort of a very flat animal that swims near the bottom of the sea, so they can see them very easily, and then they're easier to catch. And you see their mouths are on the undersides of their heads. So they're very cool hammerhead sharks. And this is the great white shark. This is probably have seen this one. This is one of the most popular ones. And these get quite a bad reputation. They have been known to attack humans, but really they don't really like humans. They're not fussed about eating humans. They don't want to, but they've mistaken humans on things like surfboards and things for seals, because we look the same in our black wetsuits. So really they prefer to eat tuna and huge fish like that rather than humans. So here we have, can you see there's someone actually swimming with sharks? And the thing is, people are realising now, the more research they do, they actually realise how much we need sharks, because they help with the food chain. They keep fish numbers down, and they also are just a very important part of the sea. And what we're doing as humans, which is terrible, is putting out huge fishing nets and catching way too many fish. And apart from just catching fish, then sharks and things get caught in the nets as well. So people are actually starting to protect sharks now. And hopefully their reputation of being sort of aggressive and bad in the sea is actually changing. So you can see here, this is very sad, the shark's caught in the net, but here you can show that actually sharks can be quite harmless if they're treated in the right way. So just flicking back through here to give you an idea, so you can see the pictures again. Hammerhead, the basking, lots of teeth, the whale shark, and all the different types, the different sizes. Have cartilage, very bendy, and there we go, back to the beginning. So what I thought we would do is we would look at some of these words, and we would start to make up our own dances about them. So what I thought is I've picked out some of the words that I find really interesting, or some of the facts about them. And I thought one of the first facts I thought was quite cool was the teeth. And I love the idea of having rows and rows of teeth. So I'm going to do this with my hands, and I'm going to do a sort of repeating action to show the idea of lots and lots of teeth coming forward all the time. So what I thought is I'm going to do a sort of grab, grab, and step forward, step back. Grab, grab, step forward, step back. Grab, grab, step forward, step back. So I've got 3 of those. It's just like my teeth are sort of rotating all the time. The other word I really like is cartilage. And if we looked at our ears, I'll show you my ear. I've got quite bendy ears. Can you see that just bends back to how it was? So this is the whole body of a shark. Woo, really flexible. So I thought we could use that as well. So we've got our teeth, and I thought we could put our hands together and show how bendy we could be. Now if you can think of another word, another movement for cartilage or being bendy, you can use that too, or you can copy mine. So I thought I'm going to do sort of figure of 8 with my hands, although it's swimming through the water. Okay, so that's my bendy cartilage. And I'm going to have a really wide open mouth, like the filter feeders. So I'm going to open my arms like this and close them. Good. Just so that's a really big, nice circle shape that we've got here. Good. The next thing I want to show is how fast that some of them can go. And when they're attacking, you can go very fast indeed. So what I'm going to do is bring my arm back, and I'm going to hit my hand, and that's going to make me turn around. So from my big open mouth, I can bring my arm back, turn, and face the front. Okay, try and go as fast as you can. Okay, so you've got a big open mouth, you're going to turn your arms, this is going to come around, and you're going to come and turn and face the front. My final one, I wanted to show a really strong position, showing how strong and beautiful and streamlined sharks are. So I love this sort of idea of the curve and the streamline of a shark. So I've just done a final frozen position which shows that. Okay, so my phrase is, we've got a row of teeth that keep repeating because they come away and then they grow back again. We've got our cartilage being very bendy. Good. Okay, we then go into our big wide open mouth. Good. And then from here, we're going to bring our arm back and we're going to turn fast, like it's attacking into our very strong streamlined shape at the end. Okay, so if you need to, you can pause this and then you can go back and have a bit more of a practice. If you want to, I'm going to put some music on and we can have a go with the music. Okay, here we go. That again, second time round. Here we go, starting with the teeth. On. Was that okay? Okay, this time, what I want you to do is, I want you to add one moment of slow motion in there. So it can be anywhere during your phrase, but I want you to go down, right down to number 1. Do you remember? Almost stopping that really slow warm-up we did at the beginning. And I want you to choose that number 1 speed, so super, super slow, at any part of your dance. So I think I quite like my teeth being fast. I think on this bit I'm going to add, I'm going to start off quite fast and then I'm going to go into a slow bit. And I'm going to a fast bit and I'm going to go into a slow bit. Because sharks are constantly changing speed. So I think that's where I'm going to add my part. What you can do is pause this and have a little practice. And then we can come back and do it again with the music. The second thing I want you to think about is, I want you to think about your performance. So how are you going to show that these beautiful animals in your movement, okay? So I want you to think of making everything much, much bigger. So when you jump forward, I want you to really think about sinking your fingers like teeth. Okay, so really make the claws and jump back. And when you jump back, be very still. Jump forward, jump back, very still. Good. Put your hands together. This can be really big. You don't just do little shapes, okay? Fill the space. Imagine that you're drawing, okay? Imagine you're drawing a huge circle with your arm. Good, and you're making a perfect circle with your arms there. Okay, bring your arm back. Give this a really good slap. Ready? There we go. So we're gonna make that quite a loud clap. Come around to the beginning, the front, and then we're gonna make a beautiful shape to end. Really stretch that arm, stretch that leg. Not here, here. Okay, really, really stretch. So we're just working on our performance a little bit as well. So let's add music to that, and that'll bring it alive. Here we go. Well done. How did you get on? I hope that was okay. Good. So what you can do, if you want a bit more of a practice, you can rewind this back and have another run through that phrase a few more times with the music if you like. Okay, so that's all we're going to do on sharks today. I think we need a little bit of a cool down though. So come back into the space. Okay, and we are going to try some of those words that we did, but in slow motion. So do you remember some of the words that we did earlier, like glide? But we're going to try them very slowly, okay? So we're going to do glide, and I'm going to add on a really nice slow bit of music. I'll use the music we've just been using actually, and then we can do that, but we're just doing this in sort of really slow motion, and that can calm our breathing and calm everything down to end the lesson, okay? So, here we go. So we're going to do glide. Good. Can you do bendy? Very low to the ground. Can you do a slow motion roll? And then back the other way. Good. And we're going to finish on our bendy cartilage figure of 8. Can you follow it? Follow your hands with your eyes. So you're watching it like you're a shark, watching a fish you're about to catch. Good. Okay, well done. Fantastic. Well, I hope you enjoyed learning about sharks. I've really enjoyed researching them and looking up facts and finding out what they're like and where they live. So hopefully you've learned a few things and you've done some brilliant dancing as well. I bet you have. So I will see you next time, and we'll be doing another animal then, but you'll find out what that is then. Okay, thank you.